Hello, YouTube viewers and Transformers fans of villages. This is the TFN Geek coming to you with my first review of one of the Transformers toys from the War for Cybertron Siege line. And today we're looking at a Transformers toy from Wave 1 of the Siege line that has kind of been getting mixed feelings from most Transformers fans due to the fact that for the size of toy that this one particular Transformers toy is, it's a lot of people think that it could have a smaller retail price compared to it. So today we have War for Cybertron Siege Leader Class Shockwave. Now, when it was announced that Shockwave is going to be given a brand new Leader Class toy in the Siege line, Transformers fans everywhere were excited and anxious to get a hold of Shockwave. But then Shockwave was released, and it turns out Shockwave, in his robot mode, he's actually the same size as a Voyager class Transformer, and he has added armor, which is actually a theme that I personally feel carried over from the Power of the Primes toy line, where for the Leader class toys you have an inner robot that combines with additional armor that also serves as an extension of the Transformers vehicle mode in Ode End. It's basically a smaller robot becoming a larger robot, and unfortunately the size ratios between the small robot / inner robot and the larger armored up robot, Shockwave has the smallest size difference comparing his unarmored robot mode to his armored up robot mode. And a lot of Transformers fans have said that for Shockwave's retail price tag of $50, most Transformers fans have come to the conclusion that Shockwave could have been sold as a Voyager class figure, and that a lot of Transformers fans everywhere are saying that it's not worth it if you spend the $50 price tag or even more getting a hold of Shockwave. Now, when I got Shockwave, I actually pre-ordered him the day after Christmas, and Shockwave was available for pre-order from Amazon's website, where I bought him for his retail price tag of $50 for just, I want to say, 40 seconds, and then he was sold out, and he was gone. So I managed to get a hold of Shockwave I happened to be visiting Amazon, and I had the amount of money to get a hold of Shockwave literally the one moment that he was available for pre-order at retail price. So that was really incredible. So as you noticed in the title of the video, I said that there would be a fan-made laser gun mode, and before I go on, I have to give a shout out to YouTube user CHEFATRON. CHEFATRON is the one who came up with this fan-made laser gun mode for Shockwave when he wanted to give Shockwave the same alt mode that the original Generation 1 toy had. Now, the configuration I have Shockwave in right now is different compared to CHEFATRON's configuration for Shockwave, but the base figure is transformed the same way. So, if you want to give Siege Shockwave a vehicle mode or alt mode similar to the original Generation 1 toy, you can partially transform him into that. That's somewhat. The only drawback is that on the gun handle, the only real place to plug in the hose is right here, so Shockwave actually has a very, very thick handle in this mode. So setting Shockwave aside, before we bring focus back to him, I'll bring in his box and adjusting the camera so the box is in full frame. So here is Shockwave's box. He is number 4. He is the 14th toy to be released in the War for Cybertron Siege line. The Siege action figures are being released by both Hasbro and Takara Tomy. Here on the side of the box, you got some nice artwork of Shockwave. And right here on this area of the box, if you have a black light, in the Transformers language of Cybertronian text, I don't know if it's visible on camera for you, but it is just barely visible if you hold even just a standard, very bright light to it, but it has the word Tarn written in a black light code there on Shockwave's box. So, you can watch the video I did about the black light codes on the boxes of the Siege figure figures, which I did a few weeks ago to find more information on that. Here on this side of the box, you got the same poster promoting the Siege line. In the bottom of the box, you got authentic Transformers, barcode, manufacturing label. Top of the box, same thing as the other Leader and Voyager class figures, Decepticon logo, the War for Cybertron trilogy logo. Here on the back of the box, you got product shots, Shockwave in his armored up robot mode, his standard robot mode, and right underneath it, all of Shockwave's armor pieces. They can actually combine together when Shockwave is in his standard robot mode and become almost like a flying drone that Shockwave can ride on, and that drone is what a lot of Transformers fans have said is what's given Shockwave his price tag. Here's his regular armored up vehicle mode, which Shockwave combines with the drone. It's a Cybertronian spaceship, and he transforms back and forth from his armored up robot mode to his vehicle mode of a spaceship in just 28 steps. And Shockwave has advertised as another Transformers toy that's available sold separately, his Leader Class Wave made Ultra Magnus. And instead of saying other Transformers toys, they say select opponent here. So unlike the Voyager class and the Deluxe class Transformers, which are shown interacting with the Micromasters and the Battle Masters, apparently the Leader class Transformers toys in the Siege line, because of their gimmick of combining with their own set of armor, they don't really need to interact with the Micromasters and the Battle Masters, since they interact with each other or interact with themselves, however you look at it. So moving Shockwave's box aside and bringing back Shockwave, here he is once again in the fan-made laser gun mode, and I do not take any credit for thinking this up. This was thought up by YouTube user CHEFATRON, so thank you, CHEFATRON, for giving Shockwave his G1 alt mode again. So putting Shockwave himself off there in the back for a second, we'll bring back his drone. And so this is why Shockwave retails for $50. Now Shockwave is roughly the same size as Optimus Prime and Megatron, the Voyager class figures that in Wave 1 of the Siege line. So going off the fact that Voyager class figures in the Siege line have a retail price tag of $30, Hasbro is basically saying that this right here, Shockwave's weapons drone, is worth $20. And I will acknowledge that it is roughly the same size as a Deluxe class Transformers toy in the Siege line, but it doesn't have the weight to it. So I don't know. Me personally, I think if Hasbro had marketed Shockwave as an Ultra Class Transformers toy, for the longest time, there was a size class of Transformers toy that was in between Leaders and Voyagers, known as Ultra Class, and Ultra Class figures had a retail price tag that was also in between Voyagers and Leader Class figures. So if Shockwave had been marketed as an Ultra Class figure instead of Leader Class, I think that a lot more Transformers fans would be more accepting of the Siege version of Shockwave as he is if his retail price tag was $40 instead of $50. But anyways, so transforming Shockwave into his standard spaceship mode. And one thing that CHEFATRON pointed out, one thing that you can do with this fan-made G1 laser gun mode for Shockwave is you can rotate him around and plug the hose here on this side, and you can have Shockwave facing like that. The main difference being that Shockwave's robot mode chest ends up on the top, up in this little piece right here, ends up on the bottom. So that's the only difference there. But yeah, I really want to thank you, CHEFATRON, for showing everyone that Shockwave has the potential of being a triple changer, if not a quadruple changer, thanks to this fan-made G1 laser gun mode. So transforming Shockwave into his true vehicle mode, what you're supposed to do ideally is, actually I had it correct the first time. So transforming Shockwave into his official vehicle mode, you want to flip this around, and then you want to bring these pieces up, combine them together, make sure they snap into place. And I apologize for doing it off camera, it's just easier for me when the toy's close by me. clip up these two little pieces right here, and then you plug the hose right there on the side of the tower. And here is Shockwave's standard vehicle mode. It's supposed to be a Cybertronian submarine, but it's a submarine in the same sense as Titan's Return Leader Class 6 shot. So what you can do is you fold these two pieces back in, flip it around, and here is the laser gun mode for Shockwave when he's transformed officially. So yeah, just like Titan's Return Leader Class 6 shot, his laser gun mode, Shockwave, Hasbro and Takara Tomy did the same, because apparently it's now come to the point that not even science-fictional laser guns can be sold as children's toys. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting take on Hasbro and Takara Tomy's part. Right. Now, I haven't really looked at the instruction sheets yet, but one thing that I can say about Shockwave's instruction sheet, this right here, Shockwave's drone, his weapons drone, in the instruction sheet, it does not show you how to combine these pieces together to form the weapons drone. All you have to go by is the photo on the back of Shockwave's box. So if you aren't able to figure out how to transform it going off that one photo, unfortunately you might have some trouble without watching other people's videos of reviews of it here on YouTube. So untransforming the weapons drone, what you want to do is first come here on the bottom, separate that piece, then you want to split it right here, then you want to unpeg these side panels. You could technically have taken those off first. Then these sections, what you want to do is, they're pegged on top, so you want to pull them away from that angle. And then you bring the rest of Shockwave like this. And you combine these pieces like here. Here, there's some peg holes right here that will go into some pegs here on this main piece of the weapon drone. And then there's some little rectangular tabs there in front of my finger. I don't know if you can see that. It plugs into that as well. And so it's a matter of lining everything up properly. And of course, everyone has this problem where when you actually try to transform your Transformers toys on camera, they will not cooperate and they don't want to transform correctly for you when you're trying to show the internet how they transform. I apologize for taking Shockwave off camera, but it really is easier for me when I have the Transformers toy right in front of me, and where I have my camera positioned, I can't really get behind the camera. So I think I might have Shockwave facing the wrong way. Check his box for reference. Let me see. Yes, I do have. Yes, I'm attaching the drone facing the wrong way. So when you attach the drone, you want to make sure that the side that has these two little elevated pieces here is on the same angle as Shockwave's robot mode chest and the tower. So that's why Shockwave has been incorrecting me. He's telling me I have no logic in not looking at his instruction sheets before I started transforming him on camera. And I realize that now. Ugh. Finally. Alrighty, and then put that there for just for now. So what you want to do is you want to take these pieces, attach them here. Here on both sides of Shockwave's back. Then these side pieces, you want to take these little wings, flip them out, then attach them to the outermost side of Shockwave. And there's two sets of tabs that you have to line up to get these plugged in properly. And so here is Shockwave in his official combined vehicle mode of a Cybertronian spaceship. And as for Shockwave's hose, officially you're supposed to leave it plugged in, plug it in on this side. There's several options you can do. You can plug it in on this hole, and I apologize for taking Shockwave off camera when I was saying that. But yeah, so here is Shockwave in his vehicle mode of a Cybertronian spaceship, and officially these are supposed to be flipped out to these little pieces up here on top. So yeah, and you can also, if you want, flip this around, and then you can flip the side pieces on Shockwave around as well. Now, they don't lock it as securely here on this side, like they did the other one, because the pegs don't really line up that properly, but if you want to, you can also flip the combined weaponized vehicle mode around and have it be a giant laser gun. So removing all of Shockwave's armored up pieces again. And transforming Shockwave into his robot mode. Once you have the transformation memorized, it is fairly simple enough. You want to take this whole back section, flip it out to the side, then you want to bring this down and then fold this back up in and plug it in right there. There's one leg done. Take this down, put this inside section in. You want to flip Shockwave Abe's legs around at the thigh swivel joints. Make sure his feet are lined up properly. And you want to take this section up here, and this I feel is a throwback to Generation 1 Shockwave. Then you want to take this down, then you want to accordion it down, keep it like that. Bring this back around, and then you want to rotate the arms around out at the bicep swivel. And you want to open Shockwave's chest and flip out his head. Make sure it's plugged in properly. Now on the instruction sheet, it says to plug Shockwave's hose here in this peg on the bottom of his arm, but I feel that it actually gives more clearance if you plug it here on the side of the arm, and don't plug it in all the way. This right here is the one gripe I have with Shockwave. The peg that his hose attaches to, it plugs in super tight. If you try to yank it out by the hose, there's a risk that you could tear the hose out. So yeah, that's one gripe I have with Shockwave. Don't try to force the peg that's at the end of his hose all the way into a peg hole. Otherwise, you'll be struggling to get it out. So yeah, there is Shockwave in his robot mode. And I just love that head sculpt, and I love the light piping on Shockwave. It really makes it look as though his eyeball is actually glowing. So that's really cool. And for a quick size comparison in robot mode, I apologize for not doing a comparison when he was in his vehicle mode. But for a size comparison with another toy from the Siege line, here is Shockwave next to Flywheels, or Skytread as the name is on his box. And just because, here is the other Duocon from the Power of the Primes toy line, Battle Trap. So yes, as you can see, Shockwave, he is only a head taller than Deluxe Class Transformers toys, and Megatron and Optimus Prime, they are, I believe, slightly taller than Shockwave when he's in his standard robot mode. So unfortunately, yeah, Shockwave is a Voyager Class Transformers toy that's being sold as a leader class. I agree with everyone else who's been making that statement. But to be honest, if you can overlook Shockwave's price tag, I think he is an incredible toy, and he is the best Shockwave that we've gotten, period. Last year when actually no, it's almost been 2 years, but when I first started my channel, I did a series of collection videos in which I showed off my Generation-style Transformers toys, and I grouped them all together by the season of the show they appeared in. I did the Autobots all lined up and all those Decepticons, and out of all the toys I had of Shockwave when I did that video back in 2017, the toy of Shockwave that was the most reminiscent and looked most like the Generation 1 version of Shockwave was the 2004 Transformers Energon Shock Blast Transformers toy. And all the Transformers toys of Shockwave that were released after Energon Shock Blast, as they did look like Shockwave, but they didn't look like the Generation 1 version of Shockwave. So, the Siege version of Shockwave, he is, in my opinion, the quintessential Shockwave toy to have in your collection. If you cannot get the Masterpiece version of him, which is what the situation I find myself in. I don't collect Masterpiece Transformers toys. So yeah, Shockwave is a must-have toy. Now, I'm not going to combine the weapons back into the weapons drone, but I will combine them with Shockwave to show his armored up mode. So what you want to do with armored up mode Shockwave is you want to take this drone, put it on the back of him, and it becomes his backpack. And try your best to plug it into the same peg holes in his vehicle mode. And then you plug these on the shoulders like this. Rotate these out. And this one can be a little difficult because of the hose. There's that shoulder. And then this right here is why I feel Shockwave isn't as tall as he could be, because his combiner feet are flatter than... they're just flat. So there he is in his combined robot mode. And it isn't as impressive as Ultra Magnus, but it does its job. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This has been a video review of Shockwave. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.